So something I always say to my friends, there's a difference between cultural appropriation and cultural appropriation. Okay, people who, yes, they appropriated other cultures and everything, but at the end of the day, the end product that we got was so sublime. Great eras, great music, and cultural moments. Miley Cyrus during Bangers era, you had to be there. You had to be there, okay? I was like 12, 13 during the Bangers era, and Miley did it all, okay? She said, fuck Disney. Cut her hair. She had the Wrecking Ball music video, which caused a lot of controversy. Her and Robin Thicke at the VMAs as well. And I feel like Robin Thicke should have caught more backlash than her, but I digress on that point. Okay, that whole album, 23, the music video there, okay? Miley Cyrus was on a mission, okay? Hit after hit after hit. We Can't Stop, Wrecking Ball, 23, Adore You. I don't think this was really hit, but this is one of my favorite songs from the album, okay? If you see photos like this and you just think about that era and think about what she gave us, I have to give 10. Yeah, this era is something I will always appreciate and remember. And I appreciated this era and this album a lot more whenever me and one of my friends, we were like, let's listen to Miley Cyrus's entire discography. So we were talking about solo discography, listen to her solo albums before Bangers. They were not good. They were not good, okay? Especially Can't Be Tamed. And yeah, a very lukewarm album to listen to. My friend didn't even listen to Can't Be Tamed after the first song checked out. And after I listened to this album, can't blame him, okay? And then going from that, you see why she had to go through this whole Bangers era, okay? She just really wanted to take artistic control, or working with Mike Mill Made It and, all these producers and stuff like that. What a moment that this was for the culture. I remember whenever it was New Year's and she was literally wearing a fur coat and she said, this is the most clothes I wore all year. And I was shocked by it, okay? But now after, going through life and a few years of my 20s, I get why she went all out this era. It's just something that she needed to do. So a moment in history, gotta understand it, gotta respect it. And so I can definitely acknowledge that. And one thing that I will say, that it wasn't cool that basically whenever she was done with this era and she decided she wanted to be white again and was doing Younger Now, she was basically dissing rap music and all this stuff. And it's like, you were profiting off of that during this era and everything. It was very disrespectful. I will say that she did comment on Ask by Candy's video that she made, and she apologized for it and everything. So I will accept her apology. She made great music afterwards and everything. And also she got her punishment for it, because after this era, yeah, she had hits like Younger Now and Malibu, but Miley basically flopped for 10 years straight, okay? Nobody gave a fuck about Miley Cyrus until she released Flowers. And then Flowers was really popping off, and we had that moment. And the other singles didn't really do well from that album and everything. And then I remember when she released that Doctor song with Pharrell, and someone was like, oh my God, I can't believe this flopped. I'm like, Miley's been flopping for the last 10 years. Have you not been paying attention to flop after flop after flop? And Flowers was just the thing that got her out of it. But, if you like Miley Cyrus, if you've been following her career, one thing about Miley Cyrus, a lot of times now she gonna flop. I like her music. I'm just being honest, okay? Plastic Hearts era did not get what it deserved. But Bangers era, you will always be remembered and you will be appreciated, okay? People go through their whole lives trying to have a serve like she did the Bangers era. She had everybody on the earth talking, like her or not, okay? So just giving appreciation to this moment first and foremost. Next up, I'm going to give Christina Aguilera her 10s for the Stripped era, okay? The Stripped album was really good. It was really good. I don't like her debut album. I said this 1,000 times. It was giving We Got Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston at home. They were trying to model her after that, and after Britney Spears a little bit as well, obviously. And so, she got tired of it. She said, I'm going to do my own thing, and she went in strips, and she had the creative direction writing the song. There's a lot of good songs and memorable moments from this album and era, okay? Beautiful was a huge song for her. I'm tired of that song, but it was a big song regardless. Can't Hold Us Down featuring Lil' Kim was good, but like I always said, like the blackfishing during this era and the tanning, that was ridiculous, okay? And that's why I call Christina the first good girl gone black on Twitter, and her fans started jumping me. And to be honest, like, it wasn't even that deep. I wasn't even trying to drag her that much. I was just holding her accountable for that, and honestly it was just a little laugh to me and nothing more. They were trying to make threads on me, they were trying to end me, and it didn't work. It was all for good laughing, nothing more. But I stand by it. First good girl gone black, okay? Her and Lil' Kim should not have been similar shades in that video, and we have to hold her accountable for that, because that's not right, okay? But she also had Fighter during this era, so I will definitely say that. Walk Away is one of my favorite songs for this album. I believe there's a song called Underappreciated, so I actually think that this is Christina's best album, and I can appreciate her breaking out and doing her own thing during this era. So gonna give Christina 10s where 10s are due. Gwen Stefani, okay? Everybody knows the original cultural appropriator, okay? I still have yet to listen to this album, but the singles that we got off of this, Holla Back Girl, You Will Always Be Famous to Me. Luxurious will always be famous to me. okay? And she was doing it all. She was doing it all during this era, dressing up as different cultures and ethnicities and having people from there follow her around, okay? These days, she would be canceled, but the end product that we got of it was so spectacular, and anybody knows that, you know, she was really in her bag during this moment and everything. Now Gwen Stefani want to be Republican adjacent, and I don't condone that. Back during this era, she ate. I gotta give 10s. Ariana Grande, kind of like the sweetenerish Thank You Next era and everything. And yeah, I think she did like tanning during this era. And again, that's not right. I'm not going to condone that and everything. I will definitely say that. The music was good. The music was good. You know, I remember during, you know, Sweetener time and everything, I really enjoyed that album. And a lot of people hated on Sweetener, okay? They hated on Pharrell, basically said the album was shit and that he ruined it, which is not true, okay? The only songs I didn't like was The Light Is Coming. I thought that song was trash, and I still do. The sample was just clunky and a mess. And then I didn't like Blaze. Those are the only songs I didn't like, okay? Out of this era, we got No Tears Left to Cry, which was a cultural reset. Love It or Hate It. You had God Is a Woman, which was something that's very popular for her as well. Rem, my favorite song on this album, and probably my favorite Ariana Grande song. Get Well Soon, Every Time, Borderline featuring Missy Elliott, which y'all don't get enough. Y'all don't give enough, okay? I love that record. I truly do. So yeah, I feel like this was just a true reset for her career. I've said it 1,000 times before, and I'll say it again. If we did not have Sweetener, Ariana Grande's career would be different. We really needed this reset. We needed her to go in a different direction. And just like the visuals and this whole era, it was definitely giving. Okay, we remember that time she was dating Pete Davidson. She had a song named after him on the album. They broke up 2 weeks after the album release, okay? And so there was that. But yeah, Sweetener, You'll Never Be Forgotten. That's my favorite Ariana Grande album and one of the best albums of that year in the 2010s, respectfully. And then we also had the Thank You Next era, okay? You know, she was putting on the black scent, which again, I don't condone. So we have to have that in the forefront, okay? You know, she was walking around, she said, "Thank you, next," okay? Kill me, get over here, okay? So we have moments like that. So there was that. But music wise, I love Thank You Next, the song, obviously. Break Up With Your Girlfriend Aboard, Seven Rings was ridiculously overplayed, but it's still a good song. Imagine and everything. Like during Thank You Next era, she was just serving cunt, okay? She just was. Love it or hate it, you know, the hairstyles and everything, just the general aura around Ariana Grande, okay? And she recorded that album, in like 2 weeks, because she went through a lot with the broken engagements and Mac Miller passing away and everything. So it was a heavy time for her, and she came through. She delivered a really good album and everything. And you know, love Ariana Grande. If you know one thing about me, I love Ariana Grande. I really do. I like Eternal Sunshine a lot. Y'all shitting on the album, but Can Never Be Me, one of my favorite albums of this year, okay? And so the cultural moment that was, we can't forget, okay? So yeah, that's my series talking about cultural appropriation, okay? Let me know some other artists that you thought kind of ate a little bit, you know, now they might be canceled, but back then it was giving, okay? Like I said, if you're going to, you know, have cultural appropriation, give us some good music, give us a good era outside of it. Nothing worse than somebody doing it, and we got shit music on top of that, okay? People are not, you know, doing it like they once were. We're losing recipes, but I had to give some respect where respect is due, okay? And like I said, holding them accountable for black sins, tanning, all that stuff, because it's obviously not right and everything, and just kind of being aware of that moment. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments of these. Give me your favorites, and let's continue that conversation.